For decades, military radar operators and civilian witnesses have tracked massive black triangular craft gliding silently through the night sky. The real challenge to physics occurs when they accelerate, darting off at Mach 10 and executing instantaneous 90-degree right-angle turns. In classical physics, an object moving at hypersonic velocities carries immense kinetic energy. Forcing that much mass to change direction instantly creates a violent inertial shockwave. To establish a baseline, an elite fighter pilot in an F-16 pulling an aggressive turn generates roughly 9 to 10 Gs of force. At these speeds, the analog human body hits a biological limit. The cardiovascular system cannot pump blood against the extreme gravity gradient, and the lungs collapse under the weight of the ribcage. A Mach 10 right-angle turn forces between 500 and 1,000 Gs upon the cockpit. At that velocity, the kinetic shockwave would physically pulverize human bone and tissue into a liquid paste. The greatest mystery of the TR-3B is not the engine that moves it, but how a human being survives the physics of the flight. The propulsion begins with a patented engine architecture known as the magnetic field disruptor, Mercury plasma, supercooled to -150 degrees Celsius. It's pressurized to 250,000 atmospheres and magnetically accelerated to 60,000 revolutions per minute. This plasma is doped with barium titanate, a heavy ferroelectric material documented in public U.S. patents. When pulsed with millions of volts, the rotating vortex violently disrupts the zero-point field. While perfect reduction is a mathematical ideal, this human-engineered system successfully nullifies 89% of the craft's inertial mass and gravity. This leaves a stubborn remainder of 11%. If the craft executes a 500 G maneuver, that 11% still hits the pilot with a 55 G inertial shockwave. The MFD solves the propulsion problem for the titanium airframe, but it creates a lethal biological flaw that requires an extreme medical intervention. To bridge the gap between the ship's capability and human frailty, the military-industrial complex had to entirely eliminate compressible air from the cockpit. The blueprint for this solution is found in U.S. Patent 4925133A, the liquid-filled acceleration suit. It replaces the traditional pilot seat with a rigid, fluid-filled exoskeleton. Because liquids cannot be physically compressed, suspending the pilot entirely in a dense fluid allows for perfect neutral buoyancy. Under Pascal's principle, the 55G inertial shockwave is distributed equally across every square inch of the pilot's skin, acting as a total kinetic shock absorber. This chart compares normal blood's oxygen capacity to the massive retention of a perfluorocarbon molecule. To render the body incompressible, the operator is sedated and their lungs are mechanically flooded with perfluorodecalan. A closed-loop system rhythmically cycles the fluid. Suspended in this fluidic womb, the human operator functions as an incompressible solid-state component of the craft's life support system. This intense physical environment explains why witnesses report these craft shifting shapes, blurring, or morphing into glowing orbs. The physical 600-foot metamaterial hull of the TR-3B never actually changes its physical dimensions. What observers are seeing is gravitational lensing. The torsion field generated by the spinning plasma acts as a localized lens, physically bending ambient starlight and radar waves around the dense gravity well of the craft. During aggressive acceleration, extreme electromagnetic energy bleeds from the engine, overwhelming the active camouflage. This exposes the glowing plasma thrusters firing at the three corners of the hull. When the mass reduction physics, liquid breathing biology, and gravitational lensing are viewed together, the result is a system of documented industrial-scale engineering. You are not watching an alien mystery. You are watching the human military-industrial complex warp the fundamental fabric of light.